Yes, yes, yes. You are in tune to Boxing Talk with Rafi, and more specifically, Ask Rick. Ask Rick Glazer. Okay, let's get this underway. Okay, and in comes the man, Rick Glazer. Rick Glazer, how do you do?
Good, Ralph. I can barely hear you. I'm doing well, but I can barely hear you.
1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Okay, so let me do a sound check. I think it's probably. Let me do a sound check. Hold on. Let's have a look. Okay, so let me do a sound check. I think so. That means just on the sound check, Rick, and I'm good. I'm good live. I'm good live. So maybe you're gonna have to drop off and jump back in again. Okay, so while Rick Glazer does that, you are in tune to Ask Rick. And yes, yes, yes. We got a lot to chop up. We got a lot to chop up today. What's going on? What's going on in the chat? We have. How's it going? How's it going, Rick?
Perfect.
Perfect, Amundo. It's the same with any kind of electronics. If it's not working, turn it off and turn it back on again. And you got a good chance that it might crunk up. Okay. So
that works for women too.
Yeah, the old reset button. You got to know where the reset button is, though, Rick. Okay. Okay, so let's get into this thing. There's a lot to catch up with. Rick wasn't with us last week. He was busy with Donald Trump, organizing Donald Trump's victory, or so we thought.
No,
Rick,
no.
What happened? What happened? Talk me through this. I don't know what's going on.
He lost 5 states by a cumulative total of 109,000 votes. I mean, 15,000, 12,000. I mean, it's crazy. It's you're talking about millions and millions and millions and millions of ballots here, and across 5 states, there are only 109,000 votes, separating them. So it's
crazy.
It's so close. It's unbelievable. We'll see what happens. I mean, they're going through they're going to go through the technical process, the recounts and everything else. I know in 2 states they're going to do it in, I think, Georgia and Arizona. We'll see what happens. Who knows?
Who knows?
So,
who knows? So, what
right.
are you conceding defeat yet, Rick? Are you conceding defeat?
It's not a matter of conceding defeat. It's not for me to judge.
Right.
It's not my business. It's boxing. It's my business.
Yeah.
That's like, I hope Trump would stay as president, but if he's not, he's not. That's all there is to it. I believe in what Trump's done. He's done a lot of great things, and if the American people don't think so, on a state-by-state basis, then so be it. But it's the way it is.
That's the way the cookie crumbles. That's the way the cookie crumbles. And, glad to see people populating the area. What are we saying here? Thumbs up, DJ Georgie Porgy in the building. Lisa Bayliss up in the building. James Jameson up in the building. Boxing therapy. Where's Leighton, says James Jameson. Leighton is right here. Rick Glazer, Wilder have any chance to... Oh, damn, we got a question already, Rick. They're not messing around. Rick Glazer, does Wilder have any chance of stopping the Joshua Fury fight if he goes to court?
No shot. The contract expired on its face, and they're going to a clause that calls for mediation. How do you go to mediation on a contract that's already expired? The contract's expired, and nothing in the contract's any good anymore. It's over.
Yeah.
So they're in dreamland.
Dream world. They're talking about going to court. There ain't no going to court. It's an
Let me ask you a question, Rob. I'm confused. Stop me here.
Yeah.
Take the confusion out of this for me. He says he's got a debt in his head from illegal gloves from Fury. So how's he going to fight if he's got a dent in his head? How's the commission going to allow him to fight? How's the doctor going to allow him to fight? All this doesn't make any sense. I'm confused, Rob.
I don't know if they're going to allow him to fight with a dent in his head. He's going to have to be medically cleared.
Right.
Okay, so where are we? 5 states are still counting. James Jameson, Scotsman, but he's big on Trump. Big on Trump. Okay. What's that? Robbery. Okay, so let's get into
You know what the problem with Trump if he loses? The entertainment value of the presidency is gone for these TV agencies. You know, these news media agencies, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I hear that. Okay. So where are we, James Jameson? I'm dropping the 20 for the bet, Leighton. I hope when Trump remains, you do the same. Okay. So James Jameson is honoring his word. He said if Trump lost, he was gonna drop a 20 to Leighton, and Leighton was gonna put it in the super chat. So we're doing good. But if I think James is saying if it gets reversed with the recount, then he's expecting Leighton to do the same or something like that. Okay, that sounds very, very reasonable. Very, very reasonable. Okay, so let's get into it. Where do we start? Okay, let's start with last weekend's fight. Let's talk with Devin Haney. I'll tell you what I think about Devin Haney. I've thought it for a while, but I haven't been able to put it into words. But I figured it out. I figured out my problem with Devin Haney, and Leighton Evelyn accepts the challenge, James Jameson, and he's a man of his word. Both of you are. I tell you, I figured out what it is that I've got. The problem I have with Devin Haney, he's not scintillating. He's not scintillating. He doesn't have a fluid style.
Scintillating. He could put a whole room of people asleep. that was god awful.
He just doesn't have a style which is enjoyable to watch. He just doesn't. He
fights. It's a funny thing. He's got enough heart to be in there and become a champion, but he doesn't have enough heart to stay. He doesn't fight like he's got enough heart to stand in there and bang. And he needs to get people out of there. Nobody's going to watch that shit for 12 rounds. I mean, the only reason why I watch is because I'll have a million people ask me about it. You know what I'm saying? So I can't say I didn't watch it because what kind of boxing guy are you, Rick? You know what I mean? But that was god awful.
Yeah. I figured out what I don't like about Devin Haney. He's not scintillating. He's not exciting. His style, he just doesn't have an enjoyable style. Now he punches and then he jumps out of range. Then he does a 1-2, jumps out. It's not enjoyable. It's not. It doesn't seem, Rick. It just doesn't seem high level. He sounds like an oxymoron because the guy is a world champion, but it just doesn't seem like high level fluid fighting to me.
No, he's high level skill wise, but that's not something that people. How his style is not something people want to see. Let's not confuse his style, his ability, and his entertainment value. There's three different things there. Style and ability are basically 2 in 1. But when you call about entertainment value, it was god awful. I had to sit through that. I go, oh my God, it was so bad. I was laying in my bed. I had to sit up. If not, I was going to fall asleep to watch it. I got in a non-relaxed position so I wouldn't fall asleep. It was that bad.
I've been saying for a while now, there's something about Devin Haney's style which stops me from enjoying it, and I figured it out. It's just not scintillating. It's not stylish. And you can say, well, hold on a second. Look at Marvin Hagler. He didn't do any windmills. He wasn't doing any backflips in the ring. But what he was doing,
he was tenacious. He was on your shit every second, throwing punches, hitting elbows, forearms, heads, bodies. And he was thrilling because he glistened with excitement. This guy here, this is awful. Seriously. No entertainment value whatsoever. Now Georgie Porgy said about Barrera fought with a career metal plate and said, yeah, but it was put there for medical purposes. This is a dent in his regular skull. You're talking about something completely different here, Georgie.
Yeah, it's a dent in his skull. They're gonna have to clear it. It's not to say he can't fight again, but he's certainly gonna have to be medically cleared. We're talking about Deontay Wilder's dent. Yeah. What is this? It's true. Check it out. It is true. It is true. Dr.
Oh yeah,
Wudak,
it's true.
it's true. Dr. Wudak says, do you think he needs to grow into his man strength? We're talking about Devin Haney.
I think he's got his man strength. I mean, I do. I already think he does. He wouldn't have got this far if he didn't. I think that maybe holding him back, maybe he's having trouble making 135. And if he went to 140, he'd be stronger. But then he'd be able to use his legs more. We may never see him again. He may be circling the ring at a high rate of speed.
So he's got his man strength. I don't think it's about strength. I think it's about style. His boxing style is simply not pleasing. And it doesn't please me to say that because he's a young man, and you wish him well, but it's just not pleasing, my friend. He's just not pleasing. I was thinking to myself, he should go to Mayweather. His dad's his trainer. Just go over to Team Mayweather. Just get some of that slickness, get some of that style, get some of that pleasing to watch. Not to say that Mayweather particularly was always pleasing to watch, but get some slickness. He needs some slickness about him. He needs to be able to stand in the pocket and instead of jumping out of range, just slip a punch. How about you just slip a punch?
Part of the problem with him not being able to land power punches is he's too far out of punching range, and he's getting the punches, if he is hitting them, on the absolute tail end where there's no power left. You gotta roll into the punches, and he's not able to roll into those punches. He's moving his feet too much.
Yeah. He's jumping in and out like a frog. He's in and out, in and out, in and out. Right. I hope he sorts it out. Where are we? She's Biz up in the building. Says hello, Raf. Hello, Rick. Okay, let's see. What does this say here? James Jameson with another one. Rick, will Wilder come back at the new what do they call it? Bridgeweight. Okay, I want to talk about Bridgeweight.
No. It's Bridger weight. It's named after a kid named Bridger Walker, who a dog mauled his little sister.
Jesus.
And he jumped in and pulled the dog off his little sister, and Bridger's only 6 years old.
Oh my God.
So it was great instincts, and the WBC is rewarding him for that. The reason why they didn't, just to let you know, they were thinking about calling it Walker weight because the kid's last name was Walker, but the problem was welterweight and Walker weight was too close, and that would only add more mass confusion. So they went with Bridger weight, and I commend Mauricio for respecting the kid, but it doesn't fit. They could have called it Warrior weight, or some kind of other name that was meant something. Bridger weight doesn't mean anything to anybody in boxing. But I think Wilder end up fighting for the 200 to 224 pound title. I think that's correct. I think that's a foregone conclusion. Of course, unless Usyk wants to fight for it. And if Usyk wants to fight for it, Wilder won't go anywhere near Usyk.
Yeah, I can't see it myself. Usyk with his Ukrainian dancing style. He's got those happy feet. He'll be dancing all night long. So what was that, James? Bridgerweight. So, okay, I didn't know the story behind the Bridgerweight. I just thought he was bridging. I thought it had some connection with bridging. Maybe, bridging this to bridging that. But maybe I'm just too creative for Mauricio Suleiman. Or maybe I just helped him. I've given him a way out. Okay. So let's go to Georgie Porgy. After Ugas got robbed versus Porter, is PBC willing to make Ugas versus Thurman and risk of fans knowing that they don't have the best 147 in the world? Is that alleging that Ugas is the best?
I mean, that's like if my mother had balls, she'd be my father.
Uh-oh.
I mean, that's really far-fetched. I don't know. I don't see Thurman fighting Ugas. Period.
Should he?
No. He should play with his wife and continue to make no money.
Oh my gosh. We're talking about Ugas.
No, talking about Thurman.
Oh, damn.
Ugas is like a man without an identity. He just doesn't have an identity.
Yeah.
I mean, Nobody knows him except diehard boxing fans. Nobody cares to know him, even if they know him. He's out in the middle of nowhere, and PBC hasn't pushed his agenda, the kid's agenda. He's not on their agenda because he can't sell tickets and nobody cares. So that's what you get. You got a man in no man's land.
Damn. And Ugas is another guy whose style is, I'm not sorry to say, but it's not particularly fan friendly. I mean, I do enjoy his talent level. I can see his skill level. I can see it. But it's not fun. Is it fun to watch Ugas? You tell me.
No. These guys, there should be a tournament for fighters with no excitement. I mean, except they're in different weight classes, of course, but Jesus, they're easy to grow to hate because their styles are so bad, even though they might be nice guys and they might have skill. They might be skilled, but nobody wants to watch this shit. It's called boxing. It's entertainment. It's entertainment for fans. If you're in the business, it's a business. Okay. Yeah. If you're in the sport, it's a sport. If you're a fan, it's entertainment. Mm-hmm. And they gotta give us something with entertainment value. Teofimo Lopez, entertainment value.
Yeah.
Certain Tyson Fury, entertainment value. Anthony Joshua, entertainment value. Yeah. Wilder's entertainment value. Yeah. His 249 excuses why he lost. That's great entertainment value.
Okay, man, complete and utter craziness. Okay, so James Jameson, why not the super duper heavyweight cruiser, light heavyweight? Okay.
Well, I just want to say something to you. I don't like the name Bridgerweight, but the weight class today is basically a necessity. Heavyweights are so big today. Fury just weighed 271 pounds, and a guy that can't make 200 and is under 225. This is a perfect weight class for him. Yeah. And you know what? We're here for the fighters, and it's another division that fighters can fight in world title and win world titles and make money. If you don't have a belt, unless you're a huge name, you're not going to make any money in this sport if you don't have a belt. And it'll help guys that you've never heard of make money. And we're here for the fighters. Everybody forgets that.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
The organizations are here for the fighters. They don't rate promoters. They rate the fighters, even though it seems like they rate the promoters sometimes.
Yeah. Absolutely more. Okay, so we'll have a look in the chat. See if we've got a question. Okay, DJ Georgie Porgy with a question. And get your question in, folks. It's called a Q&A. Get your questions in. I'm sure you have questions. Write them in the chat. Okay, so DJ Georgie Porgy said Ugas is Cuban. If you're a Cuban in America doing boxing, just quit. There are not enough Cubans around to support you. Facts.
Well, he's right about that, except that if you have a scintillating style, something that's exciting, they're going to watch it no matter if you're green or purple.
Yeah.
But they have styles that nobody wants to see. I mean, that's really important to note here, guys. I mean, that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to be a power puncher, but you got to be exciting. Like Joe Calzaghe wasn't a power puncher, but he was exciting. He threw punches and walked in, and he looked to take your head off at times. Yeah. This guy doesn't do anything. This guy just sits back and throws 1 or 2 punches at a time and steps away from you and makes you walk to him and uses up more time. I was ready for him to hide behind the referee, though, and he was ahead in the fight easy.
Yeah. When I was boxing, I did a little bit, not professional or anything, but I did a little bit. And one of the things, because I'm a massive fan of Ali, he's my favorite boxer. And to me, boxing, Muhammad Ali, that represented entertainment. His movement, his style, his hit and not be hit, or hit and be hit, whatever it was. To me, boxing represented style, finesse, and entertainment.
That's because he would stop and step in. Haney never stopped, slowed his feet down, and never stepped in the other night. And that's what you got. You got a hot mess on your hands. Where Ali had fast feet, but then he used to roll forward and step in,
Yeah.
and look to hit you with that right hand jab, right hand, a nice left hook.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
this guy didn't do anything. I mean, this guy really. I mean, seriously.
Mm.
I mean, I just don't understand it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Seriously.
It's unfortunate, but it seems like some boxers get into boxing and they don't seem to have an understanding or an appreciation of the fact that it's entertainment as well. It's an entertainment, isn't it? People go to watch it because it's entertainment. If it wasn't entertainment, people wouldn't go to watch. And if you're not entertaining, people won't go to watch you. Entertainment is a component, is a significant component in boxing.
Yeah,
So
no question.
If a fighter doesn't comprehend such a simple concept, then, well, I just feel sorry for them because they're missing out on a very important component of boxing. Boxing is entertainment also. That's why people go to watch. Okay, so let's get, and I don't know if we spoke because we missed last week. So did we speak about Ugas? Have we spoken about Ugas? No, not Ugas.
Just did. We just did.
No. What's his name? The Ukrainian dancer.
Usyk.
Yeah,
he did a nice job against Chisora. I thought he won relatively handily. I think he was a good fight. It was a good fight. It was fun to watch. Wasn't bad. I mean, Chisora pressed the action, and we did. There were good rounds. It was a fun fight. It was interesting. He got hit with some good shots, and he withstood them. I mean, Usyk looks like he's got a heavyweight chin. He just doesn't have a heavyweight pop.
Okay, so my thing with Usyk, my takeaway from the Usyk fight is that at heavyweight, he is underpowered. He's underpowered. It's like having a big car with an engine which is good but not sufficient for the size of the vehicle. What say you, Rick Blazer?
Yeah, it's a good description, but I think that he'll manage to win his fair share of heavyweight fights because of the fact that he's slick, he's smart, got good hand speed, and he's alert. As far as having power, no, not at the heavyweight division. No, he didn't have power as a cruiserweight in reality. In reality, Gasayev had the power as a cruiserweight. He just didn't have the style to be in the brains to beat the Usyk.
Yes. Okay, so that was Usyk. I think he's underpowered at heavyweight, and he's going to pay the price for that at the highest echelon. Talking about Usyk. Okay, so let's see if anybody's got a question in the chat. Otherwise, I'll go to my list. Okay, James Jamison says, Rick, what weight was Mike Tyson or Evander Holyfield? Who's trashing the sport?
No. I agree. Okay, that they were under 224 pounds and they became heavyweight champ. But that was then. This is now. They weren't competing against Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury, who are huge. So back then, Leon Spinks won the heavyweight title, weighed 197 pounds. Larry Holmes weighed 209, 211. That was then. This is now, guys. Joshua and Fury, 260s, 270s. These guys are too small to compete at that level. That's all there is to it. Tyson, listen, I'll give you an example how small Tyson really was. Tyson was big when he won the title. By the time he came around to 2002, 18 years ago, June 8th of 1992, of 2002, when he fought Lennox Lewis, he looked like a pygmy in there. Okay, so my point is, Lennox Lewis was the next generation of heavyweight, and he made Tyson look like a pea shooter. Imagine these guys today, what they would make Holyfield and Tyson look like. I mean, come on. I mean, I've been up next to Tyson Fury in Vegas at the Schwartz fight. This guy's huge. He made a joke. He had his legs spread out. He was sitting on a chair, his legs spread out, and a woman went to go around him. She says, if you were a car, it takes so long to get around me, you might run out of gas. His legs are that long. I mean, he's a tall guy. I mean, so is Joshua. They're
Joshua.
huge. They're
Yeah.
tall and they're huge. And the
Yeah.
meantime is those guys cannot compete, those small heavyweights anymore. If Tyson and Holyfield around today, they get their ass beat down by both those guys. Thank you.
Dame. Okay, Rick.
Got no sound again.
1 2 1 2 1 2. You're gonna have to jump off and jump back in, Rick. It's on your end, my friend. Okay, so where are we? Yeah, they were small. They were small guys. They were small guys. Well, they were small. They were okay for the time, but not now. Now we got giants. Now it's the land of the giants. The heavyweights is the land of the giants. How's the sound, Rick? How you? You hear me? Okay, Rick?
Well, who's trashing the sport? You are trashing the sport. I am.
I don't know what he's saying. I don't know what he's saying. I don't know what I don't get the meaning. Like I was saying. Anyway, like Rick said, and like I say, it's a different era now. Heavyweights are huge now. Huge. They were big before. Now they're huge. Lennox Lewis brought it in, and Tyson Fury, the likes of Tyson, Klitschko's. They ran with it, and then we had who beat Klitschko? Of course, another giant, land of the giants. It was Tyson Fury, even bigger than the Klitschko's, and now that's the way it is now. They're bigger.
And then we had Valuev. Remember him?
We had Valuev. I certainly do. Very, very handsome man. The Phil Walker is up in the building. I love the Cubans. Lara being a beast for years.
He's such a beast. He spelled his name wrong. It's Lara, not Laura.
Yeah, Laura. Maybe that's his middle name. I don't know. Okay. Iron Kong is up in the building. Damn, the chat ran away chat. Okay. So what? Okay, James Jameson again. Rick, how many weight divisions do you need? Why not remove some lighter weights for a new cruiserweight?
There's 18 divisions now with the new weight class. I mean, you got to have weight classes. If not, it's not safe. Guys, there's a big. If you put up a 105 pounder next to a 108 pounder, you see the difference. 3 pounds may not show up at light heavyweight, but it's going to show up in 105.
Yeah.
To 108 and 112 is a big difference. Big difference between 112 and 100. I can look at a fighter and I can see the difference in the weights. If one's really a 15 pounder, one's really a 12 pounder fighting at 15, or an 8 pounder fighting at 12. I can tell the difference right away. So that's not a good sign for the negative eye when you tell the difference.
Yeah. Where are we? Okay, so Duran, Hearns, Leonard, Hagler. Now that's boxing.
Well, yeah. I mean, of course, 4 legendary fighters, all 4 in the Hall of Fame. I would say they're iconic names, legendary iconic names, and they were what was all about back in the 70s and 80s. Let's face it. I mean, especially the 80s. So they were what it was all about. I mean, it was all about them. There's no question about it. So it's just that we don't have guys like that today that want to fight. They're afraid to lose. It's a culture of people afraid to lose. Well, you're getting 12.5 million. That don't matter. I don't want to lose. Okay, and then everybody's looking at it like he's completely out of his mind.
Yes. Okay, so. Let's talk about some of the boxing now. Keep your questions coming in, folks. What were the fights that happened over the week? We can't forget about. We have to talk about
the dive job, the famous dive job. You're warming me up for the dive job of the year.
We're going to talk about the dive job of the year. Ortiz versus Flores.
Well, put it this way, Tim.
What the hell was that?
Flores mistook a ring and a canvas for a pool of water.
OMG. Yeah, tell me what was going on. What was going on?
That was bad. He made no effort. He basically didn't even get hit because that's not supposed to hurt a professional fighter, and he acted like he was all discombobulated. And the guy, it was a dive job. The guy was an $80,000 person, was a 10-rounder, and you prorate it, you give him $8,000 for the fight, and then let the commission give back $72,000 to the PBC. That was a bad. That was bad. National TV main event. You take a dive. Talk about a gutless pig, boy.
Woo.
Oh.
And so the follow on from that, I mean, I made a video about it, and that caused a big debate the following day. The following day, and so it was quite interesting when the latest news came out, and the latest news is that. Hold on, let me just mute your mic there. Okay, so the latest news is that Flores has been fined by the Californian Athletic State. Well, he hasn't been fined. His purse has been withheld.
Yeah, no. There's a misunderstanding about that. His purse is withheld until the hearing. It's not permanently withheld yet. They're going to make a determination what the penalties will be.
Yeah,
I could see them giving him nothing. I think he should get $8,000 for one round, and I think that's it. Send him home to his mother.
I think they should give him enough to pay his trainers. Give him enough to pay his trainers. His training.
Well, that's $8,000. If it was an $80,000 fight, and they get 10%. That's $8,000.
Okay, there you go. Boom. You know, give him the 8,000, but not to him. To his trainer, training partners, management, etc., etc. That's how I see that. That's how that should go. Okay, so Flores has had his purse withheld until a commission hearing where he'll have to explain his strange dive. Okay, so where are we? Where are we? Who else fought on the weekend? Oh yeah, of course. How could I forget? The Croatian sensation Filip Hrgović. What did you make of that fight, Rick?
Well, he fought Rydell Booker, who I like as a person. I've used him as a sparring partner on multiple occasions, but he has sparring partner mentality, and that's what you got. You got a 40-year-old, overweight, heavyweight who wasn't in any shape at all. He fought a year ago against Pulev. He went to cookies, went the distance, and he looked in shape. And this guy looked like he was in no shape. He had a big, he looked like tubby tuna. And he had sparring partner mentality. He never tried to throw any punches. Matter of fact, the couple times I sent him down to Hrgovic's camp in Miami. He sparred with Hrgović. So that was just a padded win for Hrgović. A way to put money in his pocket, get him another win, get him a little exposure. But it was pathetic, really. I mean, I can't go and use Rydell Booker in good conscience as a fighter anymore. Maybe as a sparring partner, but not as a fighter.
Yeah. Got to get his weight down, no doubt.
No, it's 40 years old. He made no effort.
Yeah,
it's an effort. It's entertainment value, even if you're an opponent.
Yeah.
Let's see. Hey guys, I like Ugas style boxing. It's entertaining to me. I'm glad he clarified that. The only issue is he throws his power shots a bit slow. Maybe he is slow with age. I don't know. I don't watch Ugas that closely because I'm not that excited. When I watch it, it's like out of one eye, and I'm watching something else out of the other eye.
The Gucci Kid says jumping on the floor to stop an opponent hitting you. Is it classed as a knockdown? Usyk was doing that.
I don't remember that.
I think what I did see was Usyk holding on to Chisora and looking to the ref for help. And that's not a good sign. That is not a good sign. Where are we? We got the Phil Walker up in the building, and he asks, where would you rank Usyk within the division, or a top 10 in the division? So where would you rank Usyk?
He's about 6 or 7 for me. He'd be probably number 1 or number 2 in the in the Bridgerweight division.
Mm.
But as a heavyweight, he's number 6, about number 6, 7 in that area.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The same size. And what's this? James Jameson says AJ is the same size and weight as Foreman, the young version. Well, no, he's much taller than Foreman.
Come on.
He's much taller than Foreman. You know, Foreman was what?
Listen, Foreman was a freak of the day. Now there's a lot of those heavyweights. Everybody's got to get off this kick like these guys of yesteryear. They're smaller. Okay, they're smaller. I mean, they all fought each other. They were smaller. Today, these heavyweights are huge. I mean, people don't realize how big these guys are. It's crazy. I mean, I get next up to these guys. I look up at them. Holy Christ. Well, who's been feeding this guy? You know?
Yes. Where are we now? Let's get some different questions. Rick, Mighty Mo is in the building. Rick, what's the situation with the mediation between Wilder and Fury? Okay, so to clarify, it is not going to court. It is not the court thing. It's something. It's a provision in the contract that they could go to mediation. But the contract expired.
I don't know. They're beating their meat.
So they're doing something there was a provision in the contract, but the contract expired. So obviously, where the hell is the provision if the contract has expired? Although the counter argument is that well, that's why the provision was there to mediate, regardless. So I don't know. You have to take your pick where how you interpret it.
Fury may fight Wilder again. Okay, it's either because he's the mandatory or because he wants to, but not because he's forced to. I'll leave it like that.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Do you think AJ can handle Lennox Lewis's worst rivals in their prime? AJ can hold on. Do you think AJ can handle Lennox Lewis's worst rivals in their prime?
The only guy that I'd say of Lennox fought that could beat AJ would be David Tua at his best.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, that's it. Boom.
He was a great puncher. He was a great puncher with fast hands, short, just like Andy Ruiz. And we saw what happened in the Andy Ruiz Joshua fight. So I would think David Tua is the guy with a shot that beat him.
Okay, David Tua. That's an interesting one. The Samoan. Okay, the floating rib punch. Lennox made it up. He is what? He is height. Okay. I don't know what
that floating rib punch. I don't know where he got that from. I've never heard of that in my life. So Lennox belong.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying they've never heard of it, but it is a thing. It is definitely a thing. The floating rib. It is definitely a thing. The bottom of the rib cage. It's been referred to. If people don't refer to it in boxing, they're certainly doing martial arts. So it is definitely a thing, but evidently it's not a thing in boxing, but it's definitely a thing in martial arts. Okay. So just to clarify that one up, let's say that Lennox was blazed. I don't know. It's not a thing in boxing, evidently, but it is definitely a thing in martial arts. Kickboxing, you're taught to go to the floating rib, just right at the bottom of the rib cage. The last rib is called the floating rib. So I don't know. Okay, so where are we? I thought the Flores has his knee. His knee had given away or something. It looked like his knee buckled. I don't know if his knee buckled. I think his heart.
He didn't complain about it. The commission didn't say anything about it. It was never brought to the commission's attention. So I don't think that's the case.
I don't think that's the case either. He hasn't mentioned it. So no, there you go. He hasn't mentioned it. So, I don't think we can really make excuses on his behalf if he hasn't made it himself. Okay, so. What's this? Gucci Kid. I don't know which broadcast was worse, the Zone or the PBC.
Well, the zone was worse because you had to sit through 12 rounds of agony. The other agony fights were over quickly and swiftly, 1 and 2 rounds, and boom, it was over. All those fights. So, one of them was, like I said, 1 minute. But PBC, that 12-round fight seemed to drag on for 6 hours. It just seemed like it's brutal.
James Jameson says, Rick, if Wilder fights Ruiz next, does that fight sell?
Does it sell? Yeah. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah. Mexican American.
Yeah, sure it does. That sells. I don't know. I don't know if it makes any money because I don't know how much Heyman's going to pay these guys, but that'll sell. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Frank Sanchez, aggressive performance from Frank Sanchez, impressive win against Brian Howard.
Well, yes and no. I thought he looked good. He's improving, but he's supposed to beat a 40-year-old Brian Howard.
Yeah, supposed to beat him.
He was a 16-1 favorite.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yes. Da Vinci 7. Yo, what's happening, people? What's this here say? Hold on a second. Uno momento. Let me just clean up the chat just a little bit. Where are we? I just seen something that I need to take care of. Okay, here it is. Okay, that's good. Okay, right. So let's get back into it. Where are we? Big Boys Boxing in the building. Okay, how do you do? Get your questions in. Okay, so let's continue. Where are we? Okay, so let us talk about the Canelo situation. So Canelo is now a free agent. Give us your take on the situation there.
He's a free agent.
Tell the people what's happened. Tell the people what's happened. Tell the people what the development.
He's a free agent that isn't free because he wants to be overpaid. So he ain't so free. He is a free agent, but he's not free. What is he? He is turning into an enigma in boxing. He wants to fight twice a year. He wants to fight handpicked guys, and he wants to get paid too much. He wants to get overpaid, overcompensated, and it's just not there. DAZN did offer him $20 million a fight and 2 fights a year, and he turned it down. Then they said, "Okay, goodbye, good riddance, and see you later." And in lieu of that, De La Hoya's promoter released him, and in an agreement with DAZN, they came up with De La Hoya got more dates per year for all his other fighters, for his company and the other fighters. And he got more money per show going forward for guys like Ryan Garcia, Virgil Ortiz, and all those kind of guys. So everybody's happy. Hello?
Yeah, okay, no problem. I was muted. Okay, so Canelo's free. He said that's what he wanted. He wanted to be free. He wanted to be a free man. Now he's got his freedom. Golden Boy perceived to be big losers in this situation. Golden Boy and DAZN are they big losers? The Golden Boy, DAZN, are they big losers in this situation?
Not really. No. Golden Boy lost a revenue stream, but with no crowds, they weren't going to make any money anyways because Canelo's eating up all the money, and they need money for the opponent to run the rest of the show. So they really won't make it any money anyways. Now they're getting a lot more dates for their up-and-coming guys and more money per show. So it was really a win-win-win-win situation for everybody. It was a win situation for Canelo. He can get away from everybody, go on his own. DAZN is released of $80 million a year in obligations here in America. And also Oscar's getting more dates for his up-and-coming stars that want to be with him and do something with him. And that's the story there. So there was no real loser in this deal. Everybody was fairly taken care of in their own way. DAZN saved $80 million. Oscar got more dates. Oscar gets more money per show for his guys, and the other guy goes on his merry way. So there's no loser.
No losers in the situation. I think that a lot of people are thinking the Golden Boy they've lost a revenue stream, but
Well, they have. Let's just say they lost $6 million, $3 million a fight. I'm just using a round figure.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's say they lost $3 million a fight net. That's $6 million. If they're going to get 6 dates a year more from the zone than they do already, okay, and they're getting 20, let's say 20 dates a year from the zone, and the zone raises up their shows $1 million a show. That's $20 million more in revenues, gross revenues. Now if they pay out, let's say they pay out 14 million of that, they get to keep 6 million. That's 3 million. That's 3 million per show, like they would get from the Canelo fight. So there's no loser here. There's no loser here. The zone wanted out, okay, and he had a contract. Golden Boy could have sued the zone, I'm sure, and they didn't. And in lieu of not suing, they come up with all kinds of dates for him and all kind of added money per show, and everybody's going to make out. I'm not saying to you that De La Hoya won't have a few layoffs at his company to make his company smaller. Because of they keep the overhead down a little bit, but Golden Boy will still be in business and things will still be rolling.
Yes. Okay. So keeping it rolling, talking about keeping things rolling. We're keeping it rolling over here to Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio, and the show is Ask Rick, and the XXX is not referring to the film. It's referring to the number of episodes. We are on episode 30, Roman numerals. Okay, so hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you are not subscribed, and for sure hit that share button. Hit all of the good buttons. Okay, so where was I going to go? Where was I going to? Oh yeah, I know exactly where I was going to go. And actions speak louder than words sometimes, and sometimes a picture, what do they say? A picture paints 1,000 words. Okay, so let us share the picture which paints 1,000 words. Let's share that. Where is it? Boom, boom, boom. Okay. Do you see what I see? Rick. Rick's dropped off. I think he's dropped off. He's going to have to jump back in again. Okay, so this coming weekend. Where is it? Where's the fight information? There it is. Saturday, the 14th of November. WBO World Welterweight Championship. ESPN and Premier Sports over here in the UK. Kell Brook was upset he didn't get on Sky. Said Eddie Hearn didn't. Hold on, 1 second. There we go. Boom. Okay, we're back. Okay, so you see before you there, Crawford versus Brook. Saturday. What time is it? It's going to be 3 a.m. for us. Are we staying up for that? Yeah, I think we have. James Jameson was kind enough to super chat in. He made a little donation. So Rafi's going to be up at 3 a.m. for this one. The ring walk, estimated ring walk. Crawford versus Brook. Talk to us about this fight, Rick Laser.
Crawford's a little too fast for him. Brook's a little on the back nine, and I can see Brook giving 1,000% in the first 5 to 6 rounds, and it being a real good fight. And he slowly started to pick apart around the 6th round, 7th round, 8th round, 9th round. Keeps going downhill, and he'll get stopped around the 9th to 10th rounds.
OMG. So it looks like it's going to be the last hurrah for Kell Brook. So I think he's going to be giving it his all. It's going to be interesting. I'm looking forward to this one. And yes, we will be covering that fight right here on Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio. So keep it locked. Okay, so Big Boys Boxing says the fact that Flores is a lady's part is not Luis Ortiz's fault. I don't think anybody's faulting Luis Ortiz. Are you faulting Luis Ortiz on that one, Rick?
No, you got nothing to do with it. It was not a premeditated dive where there was a conspiracy going on between all the teams, the corners, and the managers, and nothing like that. It was the guy just was gutless. I don't even get mad at the matchmaker for it because he didn't know the guy was just going to take a powder. The guy just took a powder. Shit happens.
Yeah,
you know, just not that often on national TV in a main event. Never happens until the other night. So I can't get mad at anybody for that. It's not anybody's fault. I'll tell you whose fault it is. It's a fault that he should be fighting a bottom guy like an Alexander Flores in a main event on national TV, because there was a lot of guys in between Ortiz and Flores that would have taken the fight for $80,000. I promise.
Yeah,
that was more capable of him and putting up a better fight. Forget the guy quit. I'm not going there. The guy's not that good to start with.
Yeah. 100%. Okay. So yeah, what is Boxing Authority? Boxing Authority. Rick, were you cool with Rock Newman, and did he prevent Lewis versus Bowe?
I was very good at Rock. I like Rock a lot. He's a cool guy. I did a lot of business with him. I supplied him with a lot of sparring partners. And when for Riddick, and when what's his name there, when he fought Herbie Hyde, and then when he fought Jorge Luis Gonzalez at the MGM, I supplied a lot of the matches and did a lot of work with Rock. Rock and I always got along very well. Nothing but respect for Rock. But Rock did prevent Lennox Lewis the Bowe fight, no question about it.
Why?
No, because he didn't think his fighter was going to win. He didn't want to, or he didn't want to take the chance. See, I'm going to explain something to you, Rafi, that nobody understands about boxing. Literally nobody.
Yeah.
Do you want to hear it on the Raphael Dawkins show, and you want to learn something from a guy who knows?
Let's do it. Exclusive.
Okay. The reason why guys like Eddie Hearn and guys like Bob Arum can throw their guys into unification bouts, because they've got so many champions and so many fighters. If a guy loses, it matters for their pride and a little for their pocketbook, but they motor on with all the other champions. If a Rock Newman loses Riddick Bowe, he doesn't have anybody else.
Yeah.
You understand? Yeah. So in other words, so that's why certain promoters are very protective of fighters, because that's their only fighter, or they have very few money makers. So they're not able to make those unification bouts like Eddie and Bob have made together in the recent years. Various people like that, okay? Because of the fact that they need every money maker they can handle. Aaron's got 16, 17 champions. Eddie's got 14 or 15. And PBC's got 13, 14. Those guys, okay, PBC doesn't do it because Al Heyman's ego. But the truth of the matter is, Eddie and Bob will do it all day long, until the victors goes the spoils. That's all there is to it, because they have so many champions. But if a guy's got very few fighters and he ends up with a world champ, he wants to protect him with his life, because that's his money maker.
Yeah.
Realistically, it's sort of like a stripper going to get a boob job, make her boobs bigger. That's her money makers.
Yes.
It's the same thing. It's the same idea. So what I'm saying to you is, that's why it's easier for Eddie and Bob to make a unification bout than it is for somebody else who's not a big-time promoter who may have one world champion.
Yes, that makes perfect sense. But
nobody ever talks about that. Nobody ever talks about that, ever.
They're protecting their golden goose.
Correct.
So, otherwise they might get their goose cooked. Okay.
Correct.
So let us continue at a pace. Remember to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that share button. You are in tune to Ask Rick. And we got Leighton Evelyn. Leighton Evelyn asks, Rick, why didn't Don King let Lovejoy fight David Allen?
Because he had a contract, and everybody in boxing knew he had a contract with Don, and Eddie dealt with the guy directly with the fighter, because the fighter said, I don't have a contract when Don had a contract. So he was punishing not only David Allen, not only Chris Lovejoy, but Eddie too, because Eddie insists on going around people. Eddie's got a lot of shortcomings.
That's we're none of us perfect though, Rick. None of us are perfect.
No, but everybody in boxing knew Chris Lovejoy had a contract with Don.
And if Chris Lovejoy forgot, well, that's certainly been a hell of a reminder for him, hasn't it, Rick?
Yep. And for Eddie too, to listen to people that don't know any better.
Okay, let's have a look at this. Not hard to look good against a 40-year-old who can make light heavyweight. Want to see Sanchez against someone like Jermaine Franklin or someone of that ilk?
Jermaine Franklin and Sanchez. Jermaine Franklin get his ass blown out.
Oh, yeah. Get his ass blown out.
That's not a good fight. Frank Sanchez is way too fast for Jermaine Franklin and too sharp.
Who would you put Frank Sanchez in to give him a competitive fight? Lovejoy.
I don't know. Lovejoy's a fraud. Lovejoy's a fraud. Truthfully, they're not gonna. Neither side would take the fight, and I don't see Frank Warren taking the fight, and I don't see him taking the fight. But Nathan Gorman and Sanchez is a good fight.
Dang, yeah, I like that. Who you got in that matchup?
I don't know. It's tough. Okay. It's a good fight. It's an even fight.
That's nice. I like that. Yeah. I like that.
David Allen is one step below a Gorman, but he'd be a decent fight with him too.
Yes. I like those picks. What's this one? Big Boys Boxing asks, Rick, if Hrgovic versus Hunter gets made, who would you pick to win? Good question.
Hunter.
More
experience in the heavyweight division. He's already won a whole series of big fights, including Martin Blokely in England.
Yeah,
Begley in England. He had a draw with Povetkin. I think that he's too experienced and too good on his feet and too smart for a very one-dimensional Hrgovic. Hello?
Excellente. Okay.
You faded out again. Let me hit you back.
That's on your end. Whenever you get a call or a text, it breaks up. So it's on your end, my dear fellow. So what we got here? Cass Mack says, so do you think the zone were fine to let him walk to cut their losses?
Not only cut their losses, but now they can put $80 million back into other fights that make sense and grow their company. So yes, I think it was a very good business decision by DAZN. It was not a good decision to sign him and pay too much. Let me explain about DAZN, where people don't get it. Okay, Canelo is not a good fit for DAZN. Never was, because people that are diehards are watching from their phone or connecting up their app with a smart with the smart TV to their TV. It's diehards, so you're better off putting flyweights on the Superfly series, where they have like $2 million shows, and a lot of people watch because that's what diehards watch. They needed the general public to buy Canelo to make it worthwhile paying him $80 million a year total with the opponents, and he didn't generate that kind of revenue to the general public on an app. That's all there is to it. He was never a good fit. That was in their minds only.
Okay, so that's the situation with DAZN and Canelo. Okay, so Big Boys Boxing says, Rick, any thoughts on Justice Hooning if you saw him win the Australian heavyweight title on his pro debut?
Too early, but he looks like a good prospect.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Too early, but to talk. Who knows when he gets hit back? They all look great when they're throwing punches. When they
Yeah.
get hit back, how do they look?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. We're gonna have to wait for the return fire. Okay, so the zone had no real way of making back their investment if they had little power over who Canelo was fighting.
Even if they had more power over who Canelo was fighting, they weren't going to make their investment back.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't matter.
Yeah, the maths didn't add up. The figures didn't add up.
Never did.
Never did. Okay, so BG London up in the building. Smash that like buttons. Before the expired contract, Bob Arum guaranteed the fight was happening, throwing out dates like November, December, first quarter of 2021. Then a complete U-turn, blaming Wilder. What's all that about?
Nobody could find Wilder. He was
Where's
missing
Waldo?
for months.
Where's Waldo?
Yeah, nobody knew where he was.
Mm.
He wasn't responding to Shelly Finkel. Shelly had his hands up in the air, and where was he? He was dead silent on social media. I mean, it was like he died. Nobody told anybody.
Well, he did have an autopsy, for goodness sake. So
Right.
Okay, so the Philip Carr Roberts is in the building. Okay, so Wilder is confused because a substance known as H2O was found in his water bottle. OMG.
That's funny. I like that.
Okay, so Brook is slick, but Crawford will stop him, says James Jameson.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, I got some messages coming through in the background. Let me just mute those that keep on popping up on my screen. Let me press mute. Uno, momento, boom, boom, boom. Okay, so where are we now? Brook will come to fight. Brook will come to fight and get stopped. Well,
100%.
Yeah, at least he likes to goes up. At least he likes to fight the best. So I'll always take my hat off to Brook for that. Who's he fought? Spence, Errol Spence,
Sean Porter, Earl Spence, GGG.
Triple G.
Yeah. I mean, he's turned down no one.
Yeah, exactly. So I got to give him credit for that. Jorge Masvidal, the MMA guy versus Canelo, was pitched. The draw would have been amazing, but do you think it would have been competitive? Well, are they fighting in boxing? If they're fighting in boxing, then obviously Canelo's going to whoop his ass. If they're fighting in MMA, then Masvidal would whoop his ass. I mean, I think it's pretty straightforward. Those matches are pretty straightforward. Where are we? Yeah. Where are we? I'd have to look for. I would have took it for 40K, Rick. I think he's talking about the dive, the Flores dive, and I would have made it out in the first. Well, yeah, but you're not a professional boxer. You know what I'm saying? You expect a bit more from a professional boxer. Injury. If it went for the injury? Polite Coffee versus Abel was the best competitive fight on the Fox card.
Yeah, it was good till he got injured, which is right in the second round. But that looked like it was heating up to be a good fight.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so what's this here? BG London. Andy Ruiz wanted a warm-up with Chris Arreola instead of Luis Ortiz. King Kong gets a pass. What do you mean? Wanted a warm-up.
He's saying a pass that the guy took a dive against him. It wasn't. We've already established that. It wasn't Luis Ortiz's fault. No. He didn't know nothing about it.
Yes.
You can't get mad at him.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
You might get mad at him for lying about his age. That'll be 52 in March. But you can't lie. Well, you can't get mad at him for the other night. No,
absolutely not. Absolutely not. The red-gloved militant is up.
In the house.
In the house. The RGM. He's asking. I have a question for Rick. How is he doing today? How are you, Rick?
Well, a lot of big things happening today, and I'm doing well. I want to say thank you for asking to the Red Glove Militants. I enjoy being on the show every week. I was upset that I couldn't be on the show last week because I had people come in from out of town for a meeting, and it wasn't out of those. We were meeting with 3 other people. It was out of my control, but I'm back here and back to stay, and here we are.
Here we are, and here is the fight doctor. Eddie Hearn has his shortcomings, but has he ever killed someone with his bare hands?
Drop that off the thing. That's a shot at Don King. Tell that guy to go fuck himself. That's a low class move from a low class guy. That guy right there.
Oh, damn. Okay, let's have some peace in the valley.
Low class.
Okay. So Lisa Bayliss comes in. Rick Shakur was willing to.
Well, I'll answer that question. About Belchart is because Belchart has a contract with Valdez. That's why they couldn't break up the fight. Now they're making another fight where he's fighting Toka Khan Clary. Shakur is on that date instead. That's why he didn't step in for Valdez, because Belchart has a contract with him, and if somebody's injured, that contract's postponed until an illness with the COVID, until that thing's taken care of, and then they're going to fight it. They are going to fight. So that's why it didn't happen.
That's why it didn't happen. Gorman
contracts overrule common sense at times.
Yes.
And bravado.
Okay, so Gorman goes to sleep against Frank Sanchez, says Iron Kong. Well, it'd be interesting to see.
I don't think so, but that's all right.
He didn't go to sleep against Daniel Dubois, did he? Got dropped and stopped, but didn't think he went to sleep. So I don't know. What's going on? What's going on here? Where are we? Missed anything? Have I missed anything, or is this? Am I still in the sequence? Okay. Cause of death: egg-shaped weight. The egg weight to the cranium, egg weight to the cheekbone. Rick, will Crawford leave Top Rank after his contract expires, since he can't seem to get the big fights there?
Well, it's a good question, but if Top Rank comes up with more money and he's fighting the same quality of guys he's fighting now, why would he leave? He's fighting relatively safe fights. They want to put him in with the other gorillas, animals, and tigers every time out. 1, 2, 3. Somebody's going to beat him one of these times. They're better off. They're better off taking more money from Top Rank and staying put.
Yeah. That's the pragmatic way of looking at it. Okay. Thanks for answering my question, Rick. Lisa Bayliss, we appreciate you. It's a pleasure. Chase Athletics up in the building. Big up yourself, Rafi. Big up yourself, Rick. Okay, so
thank you.
Absolutely. BG London, Rick. Favorite fight for the last quarter of 2020. What fight are you looking forward to the most in this last quarter of 2020?
Well, I was looking forward to Ryan Garcia and Campbell, but due to the COVID, I don't know if it's going to take place now. It's not definitely not taking place December 5th. Probably won't take place in January, but that was the fight I was most looking forward to.
Sports are still going ahead, Rick, over in the UK. Sports are still going ahead. I don't know if it's been
No. Campbell came down with the COVID himself.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, I thought you knew. That's big news. Oh, Ralph, I'm sorry. I thought you knew. I assumed you knew.
Tell the people. Talk to the people. Write it down and tell the people.
What's Campbell's first name? I don't even know Campbell's first name.
Luke Campbell.
Luke Campbell's came down with the COVID. He was supposed to fight December 5th, and he came down with the COVID. It was announced, I believe, yesterday.
Wow.
So now that fight's postponed probably till January, I would imagine.
Wow. I did not know this. Okay. So get your last questions in, folks. Get your last questions. We're We're coming close to the end. Let's have a look what's going on. We're keeping it short and snappy, short and snappy. What's he doing? What we doing? Sanchez outboxes people. He don't knock no one out.
Well, he did knock out Brian Howard, a 40-year-old undersized heavyweight, journeyman heavyweight. But at the top level, I can't see him knocking people out. No, I think I think Chase is right about that.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. What we got here? What we got here? Tucker Khan, Clary, my guy from Philly, but we lose to Shakur. They have sparred before. Tucker Khan, Cleary. Okay, I don't know that cat.
That's the fighter. That's the fighter who's fighting. Yeah, he'll hang. He'll be in there. He'll be in there. He's a solid opponent. That's what he is.
Okay, okay. So De La Hoya is saying December the 19th. December the 19th for what?
Yeah, he's talking about Garcia and
Luke Campbell. Well, no,
the guys. Yeah, Luke Campbell and Garcia. That's not happening. 2 weeks later, when he's got COVID, come on. The guy, they had 4 rounds in, and the guy will be exhausted. Come on now.
Yeah, well, Povetkin versus White has been pushed back to, I think, February because Povetkin contracted the COVID.
That's my point.
Yeah.
What, the guy's going to take off 2 weeks because he's got the COVID? No, he's got to recuperate now, and he's got to get strong again. The guy will be whipped in 4 or 5 rounds. He'll be tired out. Come on now. It's ridiculous. It's sort of comical, actually.
Yeah. It ain't going to happen. It ain't happening. I can't see it happening. If he's got the COVID, I can't see that happening. Liberian versus Philly. Lost to Kid Galahad for the UK. Lost to Kid Galahad. Toka Khan. Okay, so December the 19th for Garcia Campbell rescheduled. I don't know. I really don't know. King, well, yeah, T White coming with the funny again. Rick, can you give any other examples of someone handling a loss as Deontay Wilder, as bad as Deontay Wilder? You've been around the game for a long time.
Yes, Donald Trump.
OMG. Okay, so what's going on here?
But in boxing, the answer is no. I've never seen anybody. As I said, Wilder's going to write a book, 249 speeches why I lost to Wilder. Okay. I mean, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. It's crazy.
Utterly crazy.
Tampered gloves, dents in foreheads, funny costumes, weighted costumes. Yeah. Mark Breland. The referee was against him. Mark Breland, his own trainer, was against him.
Well, the referee was drunk. The referee was drunk. He was inebriated, apparently, according to Wilder. The referee was inebriated. Is COVID being used as a way of getting out of fights like the fake last-minute injuries we used to hear about?
No. They're failing the test. The promotions administer the test by the new laws from the boxing commissions now. They get the results. No, absolutely not. It's real. It's real. Believe me, it's real as a heart attack.
It's real. It's as real as a heart attack. It's a real thing out there. Put your masks on.
Yeah, it's not like the old excuse. My back hurts or my wrist. My wrist is sore. My wrist is sore.
Wrist is sore, and my rib is floating. Will Brook go past the 6 rounds with Crawford?
Yes.
Okay. Rick and Rafi, favorite heavyweight prospect. Is Dubois a prospect, or is he there yet?
No, Dubois is a contender. That's a top 10 guy.
Dubois is a contender now.
Well, I would say Jared Anderson for top rank right now.
Yeah, Jared Anderson. Okay. Jared Anderson. Okay. So where are we? I see COVID recovery also being used as an excuse for bad performances over the next 12 months. Well, if they're free of COVID, they can't fight with the COVID. They can't fight with the COVID, so that can't be an excuse.
Right. But no, he's talking about the recovery period that I wasn't up to my game. I was still recovering from the COVID. Right. Yeah, you know what? I think it's going to fall on deaf ears from people. People know better.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I like Big Baby Anderson as a good prospect.
Yeah, that's what I said. Yep, excellent. Very good prospect.
Salita Promotions have one good heavyweight prospect. Salita. That's it.
If he does, congratulations to him.
Yeah. I think that's what they're talking about. A Red Glove Militant. Rick, do you think we could ever get Tank in the ring with Lopez?
No. We might get a Tank in the ring with Lopez, but it won't be Tank Davis.
That was a splendid knockout of Leo Santa Cruz the other day, Rick.
It was a great knockout, but but Mayweather's a guy with one champion fighter, and that's why I said these risky fights aren't going to happen.
Yeah.
Marvin, does that make sense?
Yeah, of course. I know.
We had a comment about Lou DiBella. What's this, Rick? Is Lou DiBella looking like a genius now after the fact? As we see Wilder all but done when he had a 2-fight AJ deal. No, Lou DiBella's not looking like a genius. He looked like a whore because he had nothing to do with it. And he inserted himself, went behind Al Heyman and Shelley Finkel's back and tried to steal the fighter. He's not looking like a genius. He was looking like a thief then, and he's still looking like a thief. He had nothing to do with it. He was not his promoter of record. He was a front man, and he overstepped his bounds by miles. He had no say in that whatsoever. So no, he's not looking like a Lou DiBella can't look like a genius. It's impossible.
So you reckon he was trying to steal Wilder?
No, he's trying to move him to the zone and curry favor with John Skipper, the head of the zone, so he can get some dates, get some money, and get some dates out of it. And he turned into be a whore. He acted like he was representing the fighter. The fighter was represented by Heyman and Winnie Club. He was just a front man. He didn't have a contract. He was an assigned front man by Heyman.
Yeah.
So he doesn't look like a genius. He looks like a thief. So
does Wilder look like a genius for turning it down?
Wilder could never look like a genius no matter what he ever did.
Oh, gosh. Okay. So we're coming close to the end. We're almost there. What we got here? Oh, that was Marvin just there. Thoughts on Christian Hammer versus Yoka after
a complete mismatch. One guy's a very fast heavyweight, Yoka, and one guy's a very slow heavyweight, and it's a complete mismatch.
Yeah. I don't get the last bit there. After stepping out of David, who stepped out of the David Allen fight? Who was supposed to be fighting David Allen?
Hammer stepped out.
Oh, Hammer stepped out. Well, did he have an explanation for that, or did he just?
He took a powder. I don't know what the excuse was, and now he's going to go fight. Probably got offered a lot more money. I'm sure he did.
Yeah. Makes sense. Does Rick think Canelo will work with the Zone in the future, and what does the Zone do with everyone that's signed in the hope of a Canelo fight?
They'll end up fighting each other like the GGGs and the Andrades and stuff like that. They'll end up probably fighting each other. So they'll make in-house good fights with all those guys.
Yeah. That makes sense. Donald J. Trump will still be president for 4 more years, says James Jameson. Do you share his confidence, Rick?
I'm not as confident about it, but I from what you're seeing and reading and stuff like that, and what the interviews you're seeing, I mean, this is not so clear cut. I mean, 5 states totaling 109,000, that can get overswept pretty quickly at technicalities and ballots thrown out. And they're not throwing out Republican ballots; they're going to be throwing out Democrat ballots. Because of the fact that that believe me, they were counting the Republican ones very closely. If there was anything wrong with it, they were counting them. If something was wrong with the Democratic ballot, like no data on the mail and the mail-in ballot, on the envelope, all kinds of technicalities. So we'll see. Be very interesting.
We shall see. I can't fight. I can't fight in 3 hours. My frontal lobe is throbbing. I can't fight in 3 hours.
Yeah, well, you know what? Wilder's a hot mess. I'll leave it like that. Maybe he shouldn't be in a boxing ring. You know, we laugh about it, all this stuff he's saying, but obviously got some really, really delusional and psychopath issues there going on. I think. I don't know. I'm not a doctor, but
Yeah.
something. The elevator ain't going to the top.
It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. Where are we? Where are we? Let's get these out of there. Okay, let's get to these few last. Okay, great show, Rafi. Thanks, Rick. Peace out, everyone. But I think we got a couple more questions. I think we have a couple more questions.
I charge time and a half for overtime. Keep talking.
Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Let me see. Let me see. Let us see. Let's make sure we don't leave anyone. Leave anyone behind.
Hey, here's a funny one. So I'm talking to a matchmaker the other day. I offered a guy $25,000 for a fight. Guy's never made over $12,500 in his life. I offer him, Rick is being a professional journeyman, a lucrative career. It can be, yes. Yes, Aaron Daly, it can be a lucrative career, especially if you're a heavyweight. So, anyways, in the meantime, the guy turned down $25,000. I says, Rick, what the? The guy said, what the f are you turning down? Was he turning down $25,000? I says, listen, I'm Jewish. I would throw my mother in front of a freight train for $25,000. I said, and I have money, and I would do it.
So, damn. Yeah. Money's money. Money is money.
That's right.
Tank is really good at knocking out guys from one
or two weight classes below him. Yeah, the Red Militant's right about that. He's never knocked anybody out his own weight that look great at 135, and now he's back down to 130. Who knows what this guy's doing? But like I said, Mayweather's got to keep him going.
Yeah.
That's my case in point.
Yeah. Got to keep the status. Got to keep his status high. Rick, should I bet on Kell Brook? The odds are magnificent. Lol.
Well, listen, here's the good way to put it. The odds are big. If you put up $1,000 to win quite a bit, that's up to you if you can afford to lose $1,000. But if you can't afford to lose $1,000, don't do it.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Be very, very careful. Be very, very careful. Aaron Daly. Rick, who's the biggest diva that you've ever brokered a deal for?
The biggest jerk off was Frankie Randall.
Tell us about that.
He's just a horrible human being.
That's not good.
We were negotiating. His wife said something. He says, "Shut up, you hoe." That's what he said to his wife.
That is not a very gentlemanly conduct. That's not very gentlemanly conduct.
No, but Frankie Randall was a bad guy. I haven't really had any divas, more or less good guys and bad guys. Divas, I haven't had any real divas. No. You see the Savannah Marshall versus Hannah Rankin fight. I don't know if Rick caters for that. As soon as they put on women's fights, I go to the refrigerator, get a little food out, warm it up, and eat it, and then go back in to watch the fights.
I hear you. I covered that fight. It was quite nice. I quite enjoyed it. I'd rather that than a Lee Selby fight. Let me put it that way. There's some men's fights that I can really do without. No disrespect to Lee Selby. What does Rick think of Virgil Ortiz signing with MTK?
It's a double whammy. It's overkill because he signed Rick Magrin as a manager, and he signs with this guy as an advisor. The MTK group as an advisor. Why do you need both? I'm trying to think about that. It doesn't make any sense. But if it does to him, it does to him. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, if he signed with MTK without Rick, it'd make a lot of sense for Virgil Ortiz. MTK is a quality organization. But if you're already signing with Rick Magrin, why would you sign with MTK2? It's overkill. You don't need both.
Yeah.
Now you got double representation. Now you got to pay two parties. I don't know why.
Good question. Hi, Rick Steven 4722. Aaron Daddy says, hello, Steven. Aaron Daddy says, Rick, how is Dubois #2 in the WBO? And he hasn't beaten anyone good. What is the world coming to?
Okay, I think it's very legitimate. Here's why. You can't get mad at a fighter because how good he is, because people won't fight him now because there's not enough money to go around because of the COVID. So it's a reflection on his ability and his potential. It's not a necessary reflection on his result. Everybody's expecting big things from Daniel Dubois. So you can't get mad at the fighter because we're in a COVID situation.
Yeah.
Okay. And because if he wasn't in a COVID situation, Frank would have done the Joe Joyce fight 8 months ago already. Okay. When it was originally scheduled, or 6 months, whenever it was originally scheduled.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, 8 months ago by now. Yeah, it's about 8 months ago. I guess it is 7 months ago. So you can't get mad at the fighter. That's the reason why. I have no problem with that. And I'm not saying that because I'm Frank Warren's international representative. I'm talking about as a pundit here on Rafi's show here. I'm not talking about my relationship with Frank.
Right.
Okay, it's completely different. I would, if whether I was working with Frank or not, I'd still have the same answer.
Of course. Rick, Ruben Guerrero. Does Rick know what happened to Christopher Lovejoy? Yeah, we just spoke about it earlier on. Don King is...
No, it's not Don King playing games. Chris Lovejoy is irrelevant. Chris Lovejoy lied to people, told me he didn't have a contract. Don didn't want him taking the fight. There was no reason to take the fight. Don had a contract. Don put money into this guy, got him rated by the WBA, and all of a sudden he's going to go run off like a whore? Come on. Stop, please.
Bet your play money, never bet your only way money.
That's right.
Good advice. Right. Good advice from the Red Glove.
That's what I meant. That's what I meant when I said what I did. Yep.
Yeah.
Thoughts on Edward Belenga? Fucking animal. Vicious puncher. Huge for the weight. He looks like a 75-pounder at 68, and then when he rehydrates, he looks like a full cruiserweight.
Yeah, he does.
He's huge. He's powerful. We've never seen him get hit. He's never got out of nobody's got out of the first round with him alive. I expect big things from this guy. We don't even know if this guy can take a punch. We don't even know if he's got a heart yet. Nobody's seen him push back. Nobody's seen him hit. Nobody sees nothing but people on the deck.
Yeah. There's a lot to learn. The Wilder vid.
Well, we have a lot to learn about Edgar too. He may have a lot to learn, but we have a lot to learn too.
Yes.
A lot of unanswered questions.
Yes, absolutely more. The Wilder vid could be a way of using the internet conspiracy crowd to keep the third fight sellable, similar to Trump and QAnon. I don't know.
I have no idea what this means. None.
I don't know. I'm assuming no big fights will happen for 12 months due to the lack of crowd and revenue. Well, big fights are happening. Big fights are happening. What's the biggest fight happening? The biggest fights, there's still big fights happening. I mean, world championship fights, they're happening still. Spence
Garcia, Spence and Danny Garcia, Terrence Crawford and Kell Brooks big.
Yeah.
Fury and Cabral's big. I mean, there's a lot of big. Joe Joyce and Dubois is big. There's a lot of big fights happening.
There's a lot of big fights happening. It's a big ending of 2021. It's big.
Right.
It's big. And there's always going to be the rematch with Povetkin and with White and Povetkin this next week or something like that. So there's big fights are happening.
Yeah. You know, are the fighters making as much money right now? No, they're not, because of the COVID costs are high for the promoters, and your revenue streams are a lot less. But they're still fighting. Real fighters fight. Real fighters fight. They don't look for an excuse to stop fights. They look for reasons to make a fight.
Will Lovejoy keep his mysteriously high current rating?
I have no idea. That's a mystery. Who knows? I doubt it.
Texas COVID numbers hit 1 million.
Yeah, well, they run around down there like cowboys. So what do you expect?
Yeah, they don't believe in the mask. Thanks, Rafi and Rick. The show makes my week, and that's
Well,
awesome.
thank you. Much appreciated. That's why I'm here, to make people's days, weeks, and make them think better about professional boxing. Have somebody give you answers that are professional answers, not some guy that says, "Well, I think so, but I'm not sure. Maybe, but that could be." No, I'm direct with every answer. I don't beat around the bush. That's why Rafi seeked me out to be on the show originally. He saw me in other videos and said to me, "I got to have this guy on the show."
100%. That's exactly what happened. That's exactly how it went down. I knew that Rick was an abrasive character. He don't take no prisoners. He just shoots from the hip. And I thought, yeah. Let's see what we can do with the Rick Glazer. Let's call it Ask Rick. And 30 shows deep, and the rest is history. But Rick looks like he's frozen or concentrating really, really hard. And I don't know. Conor Ben Formella. Yeah.
It went away again.
Yeah. Conor Ben Formella.
Ben will beat Formella. I mean, easy.
Easy peasy.
They're not going to put in Ben with anybody that can beat him.
Right. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. You're saying he's protected. Any more protected than anybody else?
No. But he's protected.
Yeah. Formella favorite on. Oh, Formella's the favorite online right now. That's interesting. Rick.
I don't know why.
Does Rick know if Deontay is going legal? Is foul play accusation, or is that Fury's just not honoring the immediate rematch clause?
I have no idea what's going through the mind of Deontay Wilder. I think like a normal human being, and I don't think that the Wilder thinks like that. So I can't tell you what he's thinking.
No idea. It changes every week. Well, when he does speak, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. But you know what? We've gone deeper than I thought we would. It's 1 hour and 30 minutes deep. We kept it snappy all the way. Chop. And Rick, we have done another one. This is the 30th edition, 3-0.
I just want to say to you that I love being on your show every week. I love the questions. The boxing enthusiasts that come on are great. They ask great questions.
Yeah.
And on Sunday, this weekend, my wife and I, Sunday will be my 7th wedding anniversary.
Awesome.
So I'll be taking some time off for about I'm going to give her an hour of time for that.
Happy wedding anniversary, 7th.
Thank you. I'll be back next Wednesday. No matter what she has planned, won't curtail me from being back here next Wednesday. Same time, guys. Thank you very much for having me. Enjoy, everybody.
Rick Glazer, thank you very much. That was the Rick Glazer. And it's always a pleasure having Rick on. Shoots from the hip, doesn't mess about. Sorry if anyone's feelings got a little bit bruised, you know what I'm saying? But you can't come around asking about murder and what murder she wrote. Murder he wrote. It's damn crazy. What's going on right now? What's going on? What do I see before me? What's this? I just clicked on it. Where is it? Oh, there it is. It's right in front of my eyes. What's this there? Okay. So what's going on in the chat? Absolutely happy anniversary, Rick. Are we? Yeah. Congratulations and happy anniversary. The new golden boy. Ryan Garcia, the new golden boy. Anyways, great show, guys. Lots of food for thought. 100%. 100%. Big ups to Rick. Yes. 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 And I think I'm gonna finish this one out. How am I gonna finish this one out? Okay. Well, we're gonna have a little looky. I saw a video. What's going on here? What's this notification? Oh, yes, thank you. I have to respond to this one, but we're gonna do a little bit of. We're gonna have to talk about something I saw. Who's this? So brilliant with Mr. Smikey once again. 8 months after the fight to address it. Hold on. I just made a joke video. Don't tell me anybody's taking this seriously. I just made a video saying Mark Breland finally comes clean. Surely, and somebody's addressing it as if it was a serious video. It's a joke video. It's comedy. It's got comedy in the hashtags. I thought it was pretty obviously comedy. It's a comedy video. Let me just respond to this in real time. It's a comedy video. I thought it was pretty abundantly clear that it was a comedy video. What the hell? Somebody's responding to it as if it's a serious video. If you have not seen it, as a matter of fact, rat-a-tat-tat, let me just put the link in the chat. Let me just put that link in the chat for you, in this chat. Not in the chat, in the permanent comment section. Let me just put it in there for anyone who hasn't seen it. It's highly hilarious, but I find it also highly hilarious that anyone could take it seriously when it's blatantly a comedy piece. Let's come out of that and come into this. Okay, where is it? Where are we? That's Rick. There we are. So let me put it in the permanent chat. Okay, there it is. My Breland finally comes clean. There we go. Boom. So check that out after this show if you so see fit. Okay, so import beard. Okay, so what's going on here? What's going on here? Okay, so yeah, I saw a video yesterday which alleged that Deontay Wilder is proceeding with illegal. What is it? What was the wording? Is taking legal action against Tyson Fury, but that is not the case. So let's go into that. How do we get this thing up here? Do you want to go full screen on that? Or do we just want to put it to the side? No, not like that. Boom. Yeah, that looks better. Okay, so let's go through this. Okay, so what's actually happening is exclusive. Wilder attempts to enforce trilogy fight with Fury through mediation. So what's happened is there's a provision in the contract that these guys can go to mediation. If there's a problem, they can go to mediation. There's a provision in the contract which is now apparently expired. So Wilder is not taking Fury to court. This is merely a mediation provision within the contract which Wilder is attempting to exercise. But like Rick said, how can you exercise something that's in a contract which has expired? Can you exercise a provision? Can you exercise a provision from a contract which has expired? It's kind of crazy. Mediation is not court. Mediation is not court. Okay, so let's get into the article. Okay, so where are we? Okay, so Tyson Fury is moving on with the December. No, that's not pertinent. The contract for Wilder Fury 2 included a rematch clause. Okay, let's look at that rematch clause situation. As a matter of fact, let's resize this. So perhaps you might be able to see as well. Can you see that? Yeah, that's much better. Okay, so the contract for the Wilder Fury 2 included a rematch clause. A rematch clause. And now that Wilder's team has initiated the dispute resolution provision. Okay, so that's the key point here. Wilder's team has initiated the dispute resolution provision in an attempt to enforce the third fight. The Top Rank and Fury contend is no longer legally obligated. Okay, so the first step is mediation, and that is expected to begin this week. The mediator, a retired judge. So people are telling me it's court. People are telling me it's court, but explain this to me. Explain this to me. If it's court, then how wouldn't you expect to have a judge who has not retired? If you turn up, what the hell happened? If you show up to court and someone says, oh, by the way, the judge who's hearing your case. No. The judge is the mediator is not a judge. I repeat, the mediator is not a judge. The mediator is a retired judge. Okay? So it's like you going to court and somebody says, oh, by the way, the judge is retired. You say, what do you mean he's retired? Yeah, he's retired. Well, obviously he ain't going to court then, is he? Because the man has retired. So it's a good thing I brought this thing up because there's some misinformation going around that Deontay Wilder is taking, Tyson Fury is taking, actually in the act of taking into court. This ain't no court. This is a mediation. The only court he's going to is perhaps Judge Judy. Link, please. Well, no. I'm just doing a summary of the situation. But of course, we shall be talking about this probably tomorrow, and if not tomorrow, then Friday, the regular show on Friday. But with so many people talking about it, with the misinformation, he's taking him to court. He ain't taking him to court. But when we go live next time, then definitely the link will be in the chat. Yeah, Judge Judy. If you don't try, you'll never know. If you don't try, you'll never know. Well, yeah, so that is true. That is true. But let's get back into this thing. Like I said, I've highlighted the mediator is a retired judge. Okay. And if you really need to know, Rafi worked in a mediation capacity in the past. Okay. So, right, let's continue with this. So the first step is mediation. That's expected to begin this week. The mediator, a retired judge, is a retired judge. The mediator will receive the contracts and also preside over binding arbitration. That means that whatever he decides goes. So it's binding. There's the term binding. Okay. Now, as per agreement for the February 22nd title fight tilt, the Fury won via seventh round stoppage. Excuse me. We're going into this thing very optimistically this week. Wilder's co-manager, Shelly Finkel, told The Athletic, oh, sorry, let me do it in the voice. I know you guys like the voice. We're going into this thing very optimistically. That's the voice of Shelly Finkel. How did we get here? How did we get here? How do we get here? Yeah, well, there's a whole rigmarole. You know how we got there. Why does Fury's side object? Fury wants to stay active. It's important for both his mental and physical health. He also doesn't want to delay an expected 2-fight series with WBA, IBF, WBO champion Anthony Joshua, which could begin in this spring. How do we get here? Damn, that's going to be a long thing. We're supposed to be closing the show. I don't know. I'm going to get into that now. Damn it. Can't do it. We'll go into it. We'll go into that tomorrow. Go live tomorrow and talk about that. Does Wilder have a case? It's hard to say at this juncture. Wilder's side certainly believe they have a case. But when a rematch provision has a hard and fast deadline, it's very difficult to read the rematch as a perpetual obligation. OMG. What a nice line. When a rematch provision has a hard and fast deadline, it's very difficult to read the rematch as a perpetual obligation. Damn. That's a tough line. That's a tough line. Oh, what's going on here? What's going on here? What's going on here? Okay, let's go deal with the whole of this. And it's certainly not Fury's fault. The promoters did not want to promote the trilogy bout in October when boxing resumed. The Exactamundo boxing resumed in October. They could have exercised it then, but chose not to because they were waiting for crowds, weren't they? They were waiting for crowds. Fury said, "Come on, let's have it. We'll do it now." But Deontay Wilder seemed to be dragging his feet. Oh, I see what you mean. Oh, equals court. Oh, we got a bet. Oh, I see. Oh, you was trying to suggest that this is court because we have a bet. We have a bet, but I'm sorry, my friend. Arbitration is not court. The only time it's court is when there's a judge who is active, a judge who has not retired. OMG. OMG. So thank you. I hope you have my dollars ready. Well, it's pounds. It's 10 pounds. Thank you. Who else was in on the bet? Who else was in on the bet? There was T. White. Yeah. So T. White, you got till the 31st of December. Remember, you got till the 31st of December for Deontay Wilder to start legal proceedings against Tyson Fury in court, not a mediator, not going to a mediator to mediate. We're going to a judge, an active judge, a judge who has not retired. I see how you tried to get me there. Very, very crafty. Very, very crafty. Well, no, Deontay and I have been working together since his Olympic success. As you may know, Deontay Wilder won a bronze medal at the Olympics. And we have been working together ever since. And I really think Deontay is only 35. I think before this, he was just a baby. But now he's really coming into his prime. So for those people who think that Deontay Wilder is finished, how little you know. How little you know. He was a baby, but now is really coming into his man strength. So expect great things from Deontay Wilder. Okay, those are the words of Shelly Finkel. Shelly Finkel, thanks for dropping in. Mr. T. White. Mr. T. White, I'm giving you till the 31st of December, like I said before, for Deontay Wilder to start legal proceedings, not mediation proceedings. Legal proceedings will end up with either some legal agreement, and it will be presided over by a judge, not a retired judge, but an active judge, a judge who has not yet retired. But that's a nice try. Nice try, Mr. Fight Doctor. Okay, all these accusations Wilder throwing out. If he's willing to put up money, going legal with the contract, why not? For Fury allegedly loading gloves and being poisoned before the fight. Yeah, poisoned before the fight. He could also take legal proceedings against the referee who he says was intoxicated. against Fury for having the egg weight in his glove, against Ricky Hatton for allegedly pulling down the glove to help Tyson Fury with the egg weight or whatever, and of course Mark Breland. The video is in the chat. It's in the permanent comment section. What's this here? I'm not surprised someone took your vid seriously. It's a sign of the times we're in, especially with this pandemic era. Plandemic era. I see what you did there. I like it. I see what you did there. That'll teach you, Rafi, for playing with the internet's feelings. You know, I regularly play with the internet's feelings. I regularly do that. Mr. Prudent Man is in the building. Yes, yes, yes. Big up, Brum. Did you live abroad too? Brixton here. Fury shot fight. White next month, in my opinion. Hey, should fight. Oh, should fight. Yeah, that would be great. That would be great. Yeah, man, I've lived abroad. You know, I've been all over, my friend. All over. Yeah, hey, that would be interesting. I'd watch that fight. Fury versus White. Well, of course, Fury turned that down for the diamond belt. Turned it down for the diamond belt. Yeah, I got what you meant. I got you what you meant. Yeah, should fight. So would Fury take White now ahead of a potential Anthony Joshua clash? Wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't that be nice? Marvin, Shelley Finkel is a weasel and a scoundrel. Cheated Holyfield and Tyson, but now he's cheating the fans, pushing the biggest fraud hope, Deontay, the bronze bomber Wilder. Damn. It's hard words, but you know, hard words, hard times. You know, just got to tell it like it is. Wilder is wilding out. Wilder is wilding out. What do you think about Sasha saying his team won't be ready for a rescheduled date? Sasha had pneumonia as well as COVID. Dame. Wilder versus White. Yeah, I don't think Wilder would ever take that fight, and it's a shame because I'd love to see that fight, and it's highly unfortunate. Highly unfortunate. Okay, guys, I think we've run into overtime. I'm keeping these shows a little bit shorter these days. I thought he had retired. I don't know. I kind of part of me feels that he has retired. I don't know. I thought he had retired, and now he's talking like he isn't retired. He talked about the other day. Said he was had a good 5 years in him. I don't know what the hell to think. Does he really want to fight? He's petitioning for the trilogy fight, but I don't even know. I don't know what to believe. He moves. Wilder moves differently. I thought he'd retired. Even Dillian White came out and said we'll never see Deontay Wilder back in the ring again. I think maybe he did retire, and did he change his mind? Did Wilder retire and change his mind? Because the way he was moving silently, it looked to me he had retired. But did he have a change of heart? Did he think about it? Is that why he had stayed quiet? He was thinking, and then he decided not to retire. All these questions and more will be answered. If not on Friday, then on Thursday. We're going to do a Friday show, I think. We normally do a Friday show, but I might do a Thursday show tomorrow because I don't like misinformation. When there is misinformation, I got to come out and say, just stop. Stop that. And that's why I did this little piece, little addition on the thing to clarify the muddy waters. We got to bring clarification. It's the Raphael Dawkins. It's the Combat Radio, and that is what we do. That's what we do. Yeah, just go ahead and check out my videos, right? Raphael Dawkins and right LDBC, and you will have a whole slew of my interactions when I go over there and speak to your generals. Yeah, let's go to my channel and write it in the search bar. Raphael Dawkins and the LDBC. You know, I talk to people. I talk to people from any denomination, all denominations. Wilder said he wants that Ruiz smoke. Yeah, well, yeah, he said a lot of things. He said a lot of things. Said a lot of things. He says a lot of things. But how much weight do you put behind the words of Deontay Wilder? Wilder might still be in a zombie state. He might still be in a zombie state. I mean, the autopsy didn't look too good. Didn't look too good at all. We'll send the link then, Holmes. Dixon Vinegars. Dixon Vinegars. Shut up. Shut it, Dixon. And rest your bones. Come back tomorrow. Come back tomorrow. Okay. So that is it. The latest edition of Ask Rick. This is episode 30. I'd like to say thank you to everyone who took time out of your days to come and share it with us. Like I said, we normally do Monday, Wednesday, Friday, the live show, Boxing Talk with Rafi, 9 p.m. UK time, in between 9 p.m. and 9:30 p.m. And what's that? The clocks have gone back over here. So for you, it's now 5 p.m. 5 p.m. on the East Coast. That's 2 p.m. on the West Coast of America. And that's probably 10 p.m. Central European time. Okay, so it's been another one. It's been a great one. Thanks for your company. And of course, you know how to smash all the good buttons. The like button, the subscribe button, the share button, and of course, the super chat button that was smashed multiple times by James Jameson, who I think if he smashed it 4 times, then he has honored his bet with Leighton Evelyn. The bet was that Trump would lose. Well, Leighton Evelyn was betting that Trump would lose, and James Jameson that Trump would win. And of course, it looks like what? No, yeah. It looks like Biden has won. Looks like Biden is the winner. So James Jameson, if he super chatted 4 times, and that's £20, that was the £20 bet, and he has honored the bet in £5 chunks. So much appreciation. Oh, sorry, Leighton Evelyn donated the winnings from James Jameson. So it's Leighton Evelyn's donation from his winnings from James Jameson. So much appreciation for James Jameson for honoring the bet. Much appreciation to Leighton Evelyn for donating the proceeds of the bet to the Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio so we can keep things rolling. We can keep on paying for those PPVs. And don't forget, on Saturday, the Rafi's going to be doing a late one. He's going to be getting up in time to see the Kell Brook versus Terence Crawford. And that will be at 3 a.m. over here in the UK. And yeah, look out for the Friday show and look out for a surprise Thursday show. Boxing Talk with Rafi. It's the like, it's the subscribe, it's the comments, it's the shares, and it is the hitting that bell icon to stay updated with news and notifications. And don't forget about the live show. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. It's the Raphael Dawkins, it's the Combat Radio, it's the Ask Rick, and we are out. Blessed.